Okay, part two. So we left off when I graduated from the academy. I got my assignment to go to report to DC jail. That was on a Monday. So I report to DC jail on that Monday. Mind you, going through the checkpoint, going to roll call, going through checkpoint. Like it was like, it's all these officers, everybody going in there, everybody trying to rush to hurry up and get the roll call. So I'll never forget it. So I'm going through checkpoint. And then once I went through checkpoint, roll call was on the second floor. And so we all standing in roll call and everything like that. So I'm thinking like, God, because you don't even know you don't even know where they're going to put you at, what unit you going on. So you just have to wait until the lieutenant or the sergeant start after roll call. They tell you what happened the night before or the day before, if there was any incidents, and then they give you your assignment. So they gave me South 1. Now, mind you, in DC jail, South 1 was one of the worst housing units. You know why? Because on the South side, it's all females. So you have South 1 was the worst one. Your girl got South 1. I was like, shit. So anyway, the ones that are going to the South side, an officer, because we were new, they escorted us down. So I forgot what they used to call it, but it's like a hallway that you go down. They call it the, God, I can't think of it. But anyway, so we walking down on the South side, the South side. And when you walk down, these people were out. They were inmates, but how they have inmates doing, detail jobs. So the inmates were doing painting and stuff like that. So I'm like looking and I'm like, so I happened to look over in my peripheral and I told one of the officers, cause she was like the lead officer. So I'm like, they got guys on this side when it's the females. And so she looked at me, who are you talking about? And we only go by our last name, but I'm not going to give y'all all that. That ain't even necessary. But anyway, she was like, I said, right here, this inmate right here. And she looked, she said, that's a female. I said, what? When I tell you, look just like a man, like a whole man, like the breasts strapped down. I don't know, but it was just like a whole man. So I'm like, damn, thinking to myself, and come to find out, she's in my unit, South 1. Her name was Antoinetta. I ain't gonna give you her last name, but her name was Antoinetta. And I'll never forget her because she's the one who challenged me when I first got there. My first day on the job. Okay, so we go into, so I go in there, I'm doing all my paperwork because, you got to fill out, you got to do your log book, you got to do your security search, make sure everything is done and everything like that. Then once you get everything done, the officers, all of us get everything done. So usually at DC jail, it was always 3 officers. And because we were the female unit, yeah, they used to let the men come in there too and work sometimes. It all depends. But this happened to be, it was 2 females, me and this officer named Kim and me. And then it was another officer that they call that the officer in charge. So when the officer in charge, that's the person that stays inside of the bubble. But the junior officers, like the new officers, which I was new, Kim was there before me. I came after her. She had graduated before me, so I came after her, but I worked in the unit, and her and I became best friends. I'm going to tell you about that, too, and tell you the incident when she almost got attacked and how I had to jump in. But anyway, getting back to Antoinetta, so we're in the unit, everything's going fine, so I think it was almost count time or something like that. And the inmates, they just walking around and, they just hang out. They just walking around doing whatever. So I happened to be doing a count. No, I was doing a security check. That's what I was doing. It wasn't count time. My bad. So I was doing a security check. So as I was doing the security check, I saw Antoinetta and another female inmate that looked like a man. They were talking. And it was like they had a little group, because you know there's always some kind of cliques or something in the jail. But anyway, the inmates, they were talking and doing their, talking. And then I had to walk past in order for me to finish my security. Guys, when I tell y'all I was scared as fuck, I was so scared. Mind you, the girls in back in them days, and they look just like men. Titties taped down, look just like men. So I'm walking past, and I was like, God, I gotta go through, and oh God. So I heard Antoinetta tell the other inmates, like, yeah, that right there, that's gonna be me. That's mine. And she was pointing at me, and she know I heard it because she was loud when she said it. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my fucking God. I said, my first day on the job, and I got to deal with this. I might have to fight. I'm thinking I might have to fight. I don't even know how this going to work out. But I always remember we had a sergeant down Lorton when we was in training. And she would always tell the female officers, she said, I'm telling you, when you go over to your assigned facility, especially the ones that's going to the jail, you got females in there, and they're going to try you. And if they try you, don't back down and stand 10 toes tall, because guess what? If you back down, they got you. And me, I'm thinking to myself, shit, I ain't about to be nobody's bitch, because that ain't going to happen. Now, I ain't never been scared of a rumble. But I just didn't know how this was going to work out, because this here looked like a man. Mind you, I'm only 5'1". This broad had to be about 5'9", 6 feet. I'm like, I just didn't know what to do. But anyway, and I'm on the floor, so I couldn't like run off the floor and say, hey, or look, she said I had to stand my ground. So as I walked on through, I stopped and I looked at her, and stay tuned for part 2.